Deep in the heart of the Cretaceous period, nestled between towering ferns and bubbling tar pits, lay a land forgotten by time. It was a land of mighty roars and playful stomps, of soaring pterosaurs and lumbering stegosaurus. This was the land of Roar. The sun beamed brightly on this prehistoric paradise, dappling the jungle floor with patches of warmth where lizards basked and insects buzzed. The air vibrated with the calls of strange and wonderful creatures, a symphony of chirps, growls, and the occasional panicked squeak of a dinosaur who found himself at the wrong end of the food chain. Life in the land of Roar was never dull, always an adventure waiting to unfold. Little did they know, an unexpected surprise was about to rock their prehistoric world, a discovery that would change their lives forever. Rex was no ordinary Tyrannosaurus Rex. Sure, he had the impressive size, the booming roar that could shake the ground, and the notoriously tiny arms that were the source of much amusement among his friends. But Rex possessed something more, a spark of curiosity that burned brighter than a meteor shower. He wasn't content with just being the biggest, toothiest dinosaur on the block. Rex yearned for more, his dinosaur brain constantly buzzing with questions. Little did he know, his thirst for adventure was about to lead him and his friends on a quest unlike any other, a quest that began not with a roar, but with a peculiar humming sound emanating from the depths of the jungle. Terry the pterodactyl was not having a good day. Perched precariously on a branch, his wings drooped lower than his usual cheerful disposition. Terry, as a rule, was an optimistic sort, soaring through the prehistoric skies with a carefree spirit and an infectious laugh that echoed through the canyons. But today was different. Today, Terry was plagued by a most vexing problem: hiccups. Every few seconds, his slender frame would jerk with a loud hic, sending feathers scattering and disrupting his fellow pterosaurs who were trying to enjoy their lunch of freshly caught fish. He'd tried everything to cure his hiccups, holding his breath, drinking water upside down, or as upside down as a pterodactyl can manage, even letting out a series of ear-splitting shrieks that had startled a nearby herd of Parasaurolophus, sending them stampeding through the undergrowth. Nothing worked. As he circled over the jungle, feeling sorry for himself, his sharp eyes spotted something unusual glinting beneath a cluster of ferns. Terry, still hiccuping slightly, cautiously nudged the mysterious object with his beak. It felt warm to the touch, smooth and strangely inviting. He let out a tentative chirp, wondering if it would chirp back. When it didn't, Terry decided to call in reinforcements. He knew just who to contact: his best friend Rex, the resident expert on all things curious and unusual. With a mighty flap of his wings, Terry took to the sky, his hiccups forgotten in the excitement of his discovery. But Terry found Rex by the watering hole, engaged in a spirited game of who can splash the most water with Trixie and a group of giggling dinosaurs. "Rex! Rex! You won't believe what I found!" he squawked, landing gracefully beside his friend. The other dinosaurs, intrigued by Terry's breathless announcement, gathered around, their playful banter replaced by murmurs of curiosity. Rex, with his notoriously small arms, couldn't quite figure out how to touch the glowing box, let alone make sense of the images flickering across the air above it. "What in the name of Stegosaurus plates is this thing?" he muttered, nudging it gently with his snout. To his surprise, the image on the screen changed, replaced by a colorful landscape filled with strange creatures unlike anything they'd seen before. The dinosaurs gasped. This was far more exciting than their usual routine of munching on ferns and avoiding the tar pits. Even Trixie, who usually preferred napping in the sun, couldn't help but be mesmerized by the spectacle before them. "Look!" she cried, pointing a horn at the screen. "Those tiny creatures are hopping and jumping, and what are those bright, flashing things they keep collecting?" Rex, never one to shy away from a challenge, decided to take charge. "We need to figure out how this thing works," he declared, flexing his tiny arms with determination. "There must be a way to make sense of it." He nudged the box again, this time with his foot, and yelped in surprise when a loud bleep erupted from the console. The image on the screen changed again, this time displaying a menu with strange symbols. Rex stared at it intently, his brow furrowed in concentration. "Okay," he mumbled to himself. "Think, Rex, think. If you were a mysterious ancient artifact, how would you operate?" He tentatively pressed a button with his snout. The screen flickered, and a new image appeared. A pixelated dinosaur that looked suspiciously like Rex himself, albeit with much larger arms. "Hey, that's me!" Rex exclaimed, delighted. Trixie, who had been watching Rex's struggles with growing amusement, decided to intervene. "Maybe you need to use those tiny arms after all, Rex," she teased, gently nudging him aside with her frill. "Let me have a go." With surprising dexterity, Trixie used her horns to manipulate the joystick and buttons. Under her control, the on-screen character moved with more grace, collecting flashing objects and dodging obstacles with ease. "See?" she chirped triumphantly, glancing at Rex with a smug grin. "Teamwork makes the dream work." The other dinosaurs, inspired by Trixie's success, clamored for their turn. Terry, wings fluttering with excitement, was next in line for a turn. He'd been watching intently, his hiccups completely forgotten in the face of such technological wonder. Let me try," he chirped, nudging Trixie gently with his wing. Trixie, still basking in the glow of her recent victory, relinquished the controls. "All right, Terry," she chuckled. "Let's see what you've got. But be careful, these buttons are trickier than they look." Terry hopped onto the console, his long beak pecking at the buttons with surprising speed. The on-screen character, a nimble-looking dinosaur with wings, soared into the air. "This is amazing!" Terry cried, maneuvering his character through a sky filled with fluffy clouds and giant pixelated insects. Stego, who had been observing the proceedings with a wise and patient eye, lumbered forward, his massive plates casting a shadow over the console. "Patience, young Terry," he rumbled, his voice deep and soothing. "Even the most skilled warrior must learn the art of strategy." The younger dinosaurs, used to Stego's cryptic pronouncements, exchanged amused glances. "Strategy?" Terry squawked, his character dangling precariously from a pixelated tree branch. "What's strategy got to do with it? I just need to fly." "Every game, just like every battle," Stego explained, gently nudging the joystick with a plate, "requires a plan. Observe your surroundings, anticipate your enemy's moves, and most importantly," he added, winking at the other dinosaurs, "don't be afraid to use your head." Trixie, never one to be outdone, snorted impatiently. "All right, Stego, that's enough wisdom for one day," she declared, nudging Stego aside with her frill. "Time to let a pro show you how it's really done." With a flourish, Trixie took control of the console, her horns flashing in the fading light. She selected a new game, one with a fast-paced, competitive vibe that had the other dinosaurs on the edge of their prehistoric seats. "This is more like it," Trixie announced, a mischievous glint in her eye. "Prepare to be amazed." And amazed they were. Trixie, it turned out, was a natural at video games. Rex, inspired by his friend's progress and determined to redeem himself, stepped forward. "Okay, my turn," he announced, cracking his knuckles. Or at least, the closest thing a T-Rex has to knuckles. He nudged Trixie gently aside, his tail swishing with anticipation. "Time for a rematch." Trixie, never one to back down from a challenge, grinned mischievously. "Bring it on, Rex, but don't expect me to go easy on you just because of your..." She paused, glancing at his notoriously small arms, limited reach. The game began with a roar. Rex, controlling his on-screen counterpart, a pixelated T-Rex with surprisingly proportionate arms, charged into the digital jungle with gusto. This time, something was different. He moved with more precision, his reactions quicker, his strategies more refined. He stomped through the undergrowth, dodged obstacles with newfound agility, and even managed to chomp a few pixelated ferns for good measure. The other dinosaurs, initially skeptical, watched in amazement as Rex held his own against a formidable array of digital dinosaurs. He outmaneuvered a speedy velociraptor, outsmarted a cunning Carnotaurus, and even managed to avoid tripping over his own thankfully, not-so-tiny feet. The air crackled with excitement as Rex faced his final challenge, a colossal Spinosaurus with teeth as long as Rex's arm. The battle was epic, a clash of prehistoric titans that had the ground shaking, or at least the console vibrating slightly. But Rex, drawing on his newfound gaming prowess and the cheers of his friends, fought with courage and determination, and then, with a final, triumphant roar, he delivered the winning blow. The jungle erupted in a cacophony of cheers as Rex, victorious, threw his tiny arms up in the air, nearly toppling off the console in his excitement. "Did you see that? Did you see that?" he roared, his digital counterpart mirroring his triumphant pose on the screen. "I told you I could do it!" Trixie, though secretly impressed by Rex's unexpected gaming prowess, couldn't resist a playful jab. "Well, don't get too cocky, Rex," she snorted, nudging him with her frill. Rex, still basking in the glow of his victory, simply grinned and shook his head, sending a cascade of leaves fluttering from his spiky crest. Stego, ever the wise elder, lumbered forward, his massive head lowered in a gesture of respect. "Well done, young Rex," he rumbled, his voice full of warmth. "You have shown great courage, cunning, and most importantly," he added, a twinkle in his eye, "a surprising aptitude for button mashing." The dinosaurs erupted in laughter, their earlier competitiveness forgotten in the face of their shared triumph. They had faced the challenges of the digital world and emerged victorious, their bonds of friendship strengthened by their shared experience. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the jungle, the dinosaurs gathered around their newfound treasure, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the console. They had spent the entire afternoon lost in the world of video games, their initial confusion and clumsiness replaced by a growing sense of mastery and camaraderie. Pateri, wings no longer drooping with hiccups or frustration, had discovered a passion for high-flying aerial combat games, his natural agility translating surprisingly well to the digital realm. Trixie, her competitive spirit ignited, had claimed victory in a series of racing games, her quick reflexes and strategic mind proving to be a formidable combination. Even Stego, the oldest and wisest of the bunch, had found himself captivated by the strategic depth of puzzle games, his ancient wisdom surprisingly relevant to the challenges of the digital age. As they played, they learned from each other, sharing tips, tricks, and the occasional playful taunt. Rex, emboldened by his earlier victory, surprised everyone with his strategic thinking and surprisingly nimble, for a T-Rex, fingers. He had traded his clumsy button mashing for a more measured approach, studying his opponents, anticipating their moves, and planning his attacks with surprising precision. Night fell, blanketing the jungle in a blanket of stars. The air, usually alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, was filled with the excited chatter of dinosaurs, their voices hushed in deference to the immersive world unfolding on the screen before them. They had discovered a new world, a world of challenges, triumphs, and endless possibilities. The dinosaurs, once content with the simple pleasures of their prehistoric existence, had been bitten by the gaming bug. They spent their days honing their skills, exploring new games, and pushing the limits of their digital abilities. They had formed a gaming crew unlike any other, a motley crew of herbivores and carnivores united by their love of the game. Rex, his tiny arms no longer a source of amusement but a badge of gaming honor, had become the de facto leader of the group, his strategic mind and infectious enthusiasm inspiring his friends to reach new heights of gaming greatness. Trixie, her competitive spirit burning brighter than ever, had transformed into a force to be reckoned with, her mastery of the controls bordering on the supernatural. Even Stego, his ancient wisdom finding a new outlet in the digital world, had become a formidable gamer, his strategic insights and calm demeanor proving to be invaluable assets to the team. As the days turned into weeks, the dinosaurs' reputation as gaming legends spread throughout the land of Roar. Dinosaurs from far and wide, drawn by tales of their exploits, flocked to the clearing, eager to witness the spectacle of dinosaurs conquering the digital world. The clearing, once a quiet corner of the prehistoric world, had transformed into a bustling gaming arena filled with the sounds of cheering dinosaurs, the clatter of buttons, and the triumphant roars of victors. The dinosaurs had stumbled upon something truly special, a way to connect with each other, challenge themselves, and create lasting memories. They had discovered that the joy of gaming, like the bonds of friendship, transcended time itself. And so, in the heart of the Cretaceous period, a legend was born. The legend of the Dino Gaming Crew, a group of unlikely friends who proved that even in a prehistoric world, there was always time for a little fun, a little friendship, and a whole lot of gaming. The sun rose over the land of Roar, painting the sky with hues of orange, pink, and a touch of prehistoric purple. A gentle breeze rustled the ferns, carrying with it the scent of ancient earth, and surprisingly, a faint hint of something metallic and warm. It was a new day, but something had shifted in this prehistoric paradise. The air, usually filled with the sounds of dinosaurs waking, stretching, and letting out mighty roars, was strangely quiet. Even the pterosaurs, usually up with the sun, seemed to be taking their sweet time. A strange silence had descended upon the land of Roar, but it wasn't an eerie silence, not the kind that sent shivers down your spine. No, this was a silence born of anticipation, of excitement, of a shared secret that buzzed beneath the surface like a volcano about to erupt. And then, from the heart of the jungle, a sound pierced the stillness. It wasn't a roar, a chirp, or a trumpeting call. It was the distinct, unmistakable sound of a joystick being manipulated with surprising dexterity. The silence shattered. From behind ferns, inside hollowed-out logs, and even perched precariously on treetops, dinosaurs emerged, their eyes bright with anticipation. They lumbered, stomped, and flapped their way towards the clearing, drawn by an invisible force more powerful than any instinct. The land of Roar had been forever changed, and it was all thanks to a mysterious gaming console and a group of unlikely friends who had dared to embrace the new and the unknown. The clearing, bathed in the warm glow of the rising sun, was no longer just a clearing. It had become a haven, a sanctuary, a place where dinosaurs of all shapes, sizes, and dietary preferences could come together and bond over their shared love of video games. Rex, the once clumsy T-Rex with a knack for tripping over his own 2 feet, had blossomed into a natural leader, his strategic mind and encouraging spirit guiding his friends through even the most challenging levels. He had even mastered the art of using his tiny arms to his advantage, proving once and for all that size isn't everything, especially in the digital world. Trixie, the sassy triceratops with a competitive streak longer than her horns, had discovered that true victory lay not just in winning, but in the thrill of the competition and the joy of sharing those moments with friends. Her laughter, once reserved for mocking Rex's clumsiness, now echoed through the clearing, a testament to the power of video games to bring even the most different creatures together. Stego, the wise elder who had seen it all, found himself rejuvenated by the challenges and triumphs of the digital world. His ancient wisdom, passed down through generations of dinosaurs, proved surprisingly relevant in navigating the twists and turns of complex puzzles and strategic battles. He had become the group's unofficial mentor, dispensing advice, encouragement, and the occasional cryptic prophecy with a twinkle in his eye. Word of the Dino Gaming Crew, as they came to be known, spread like wildfire through the prehistoric undergrowth, reaching every corner of the land of Roar and beyond. Dinosaurs who had never even seen a pixel, let alone a joystick, traveled for days just to witness the spectacle of these unlikely gamers in action. The clearing became a melting pot of dinosaur culture, a place where herbivores and carnivores set aside their differences and bonded over button mashing, high scores, and the occasional heated debate over which video game character had the best dance moves. Even the oldest and grumpiest dinosaurs, those who initially scoffed at the idea of dinosaurs wasting their time on such frivolous pursuits, found themselves drawn to the infectious energy of the clearing. They watched in grudging admiration as young dinosaurs learned valuable skills: teamwork, problem-solving, and the importance of never, ever giving up on that last life, all while having the time of their prehistoric lives. The Dino Gaming Crew had not only revolutionized the way dinosaurs spent their leisure time, they had inadvertently created a cultural phenomenon. a movement that transcended species and generations, proving that even in a world dominated by survival of the fittest, there was always room for a little fun, a little friendship, and a whole lot of gaming. And so, the legend lived on, whispered from one dinosaur to another, a tale of unlikely friendships forged in the digital fires of competition, a testament to the power of video games to unite, inspire, and remind us that no matter how big or small, how toothy or herbivorous, we all share a common desire to connect, to compete, and to experience the sheer, unadulterated joy of a well-earned victory screech.